Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to be installing this brand new cell phone booster that WeBoost is promoting. It's the brand new 4G XRV. It's only been out a couple of weeks and I was wanted to give it a test, so we're going to unbox this thing and see exactly what we have inside and see how we're going to install this. Now we're going to be installing this on a 42-foot, it's actually 41-foot 9-inch Coachman chaparral. The biggest problem I'm going to have is bringing the outside antenna in. WeBoost wants you to drill a hole in the side of the camper, but being that this fifth wheel is vacuum sealed, you don't want to be doing that. So we're going to unbox it and go from there. Nice convenient handling, carry handle on the box for transporting it. The directions, now it has an A box and a B box installed for the installation. So we're going to start with the A box and see what we have inside. Now, in the A box, it has a step 1, steps 2, 3, 6, and 8 in two different separate boxes. Installation friendly for the average consumer. In box 1, we have the outside antenna and a nice Ziploc sealed package. Pretty sleek, it's white design, matches the roof of most RVs with your coax input on the bottom with a cap on the bottom. This goes on the external, on the outside of the camper on your ladder rack, is where they want it. And they give you an installation bracket to go on the ladder rack. Don't know how useful that's going to be. We're going to have to find out and see. Looks kind of big for the ladder rack. May have to put a rag or a piece of tape around it so it doesn't scratch the chrome on the rack. Brand new RV, you don't want to be scratching it up if you don't have to. Oh, that's just a cardboard filler. In the second box, we have your internal power source. Now this is a 12-volt source that you can plug into a 12-volt source inside your RV. This is your coax cable to bring it in from the outside to the inside. And we have a second power source. This is the one I'm going to be using because I'm not doing a whole lot of boondocking and I'm pretty much connected to electricity all the time. I have a seasonal site. But my cell phone signal here is horrible. So we're going to give this a whirl and hopefully it'll resolve some of my issues. I'm real excited about this product. This is the one that plugs into the power source inside your RV. This is the one I'm going to be using for my installation. And they give you some mounting brackets that glue on the side of your wall. I don't think I'll be using these because I'm going to be going in the back side of my RV, coming through a slide so I don't have to drill through the side of my camper because my camper is vacuum sealed and I do not want to be drilling a hole in the side of a vacuum sealed exterior wall. That is one complaint I do have with the WeBoost, that they want you to drill a hole in the side of your camper. They give you this little cap to screw in the side of it, but it still does not solve the dilemma of my camper being unsealed with the vacuum seal. So we will not be using this. Now Emma, come over here. We're going to show the folks what we're coming in at. I have a rear living room setup with a slide on the left side and a slide on the right side. I'm going to be coming in from the left side, coming in the bottom corner, just past the gasket, so that we can do a clean installation. And I'm going to be setting it up here on the shelf. I have a cup holder shelf here where I'm going to be actually setting up the box itself to be set up for use. And I have a power source down there beside the sofa that's out of the way and you won't be able to actually see it. So it'll be a pretty clean installation. So we're going to go ahead and start getting this thing set up and go on the outside, and I'll get back with you. Okay, I've got the cable here. Now, like I said, steps 2 and 3, it tells you to drill a hole and use that cover. Like I said, we're not going to be using that. We're just going to be routing it down on the inside of the camper here and bringing it out. Now, there are 2 different ends here. We're going to be using this end to go to the outside. It's the bigger of the 2. This one here is going to be going to the inside, where it's going to actually plug into the second part of the installation, which we haven't gotten to. This is part B. So I wanted to show you the 2 ends before we get started and show you exactly how we're going to do it. Now I'm going to take this end here and feed it to the outside, down through the rubber gasket in my RV. Now it's going to be kind of difficult to see where I'm actually coming through, but I'm going to be going down through the rubber gasket on the bottom corner so that I can actually slide my slide the rest of the way out, and it should not interfere. And I'm going to go underneath and show you exactly where it's coming out at, so that we have a nice clean installation here. And we will get back to you as soon as I get that run outside, and I'll show you where I brought it to the outside, and then we'll zip tie it across the bottom of the camper. Now I'm going to go on the outside of the camper. My lovely wife is going to be feeding me the cord through the camper as I'm asking her to feed it through, so that we can get a nice clean installation on the inside and I don't pull all the way through when we're installing it. So we're going to go to the outside now. My bride's going to be feeding me the cord inside as I holler for her. Thank you. What we're installing this today on is a 2016 Coachman Chaparral. It's one of my it's my newest unit that I just bought for our camping adventures here in Pennsylvania. Our cell phone signal is horrible here, so I'm trying to make it better. And we do have a seasonal site. As you can see, I have a deck set up on the side. But like I said, it's a 2016 Chaparral. It's fiberglass made, so that's why I don't want to install it through the body of the camper, because it is vacuum sealed camper and it's a 4 seasons travel or fifth wheel. So we don't want to do that. And we're going to be coming through the slide. The main slide out is where I brought the cord through. As you can see, I brought it through here, the bottom. Can you get under here, Emma? Can you see where it's coming through? I brought it right through the bottom here, and I'm going to be running it under the main channel under here, so we can do a nice clean installation, so it'll be pretty well hidden. That's the idea. We want to keep things out of sight, out of mind, and we want to keep it out of the way of the function of the slide out itself. So if I do move it, and when I do move it in the summertime, when we go to the beach, I can have it on the camper, and it won't be interfering with anything, and I can take it with me. So we're going to be feeding that through. I'm going to be asking my wife to feed it through for me now. All right, Rose, go ahead and feed it through, babe. Give me some more. Keep it coming. Alright, we're going to hold it up right there, folks, and I think I've got enough to get to the top of the camper, up the back of the ladder rack. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in place. I'm going to use my own zip ties that I bought at Lowe's instead of using the ones that they gave me from Wilson. I just like the Lowe's ones. They're a little bit bigger and they should be better to use. So, alrighty, we'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, folks, I'm going to use these zip ties. I just like these. They're a little bit better. They're a little stronger and a little longer, and not so quite as cumbersome to work with. They give you the little zip ties from Wilson. I just want a bigger zip tie. I kind of got cheesy fingers, so I want to use a bigger zip tie. It makes it easier for me to use. So we're going to go ahead and start putting this antenna up on the roof. So like I said, this is your outside antenna. These are your U-bolts and your ladder rack. I may be getting some tape to wrap around that ladder rack. I'm going to play it by ear right this second and see how that's going to actually fit on my ladder rack. Because like I said, I don't want to scratch up my new camper. So we'll see what happens. Alright, we'll get back in a minute. We've run the cord out from the outside. I ran it up the back of the ladder rack all the way from the bottom. I'm going to be zip tying this to the back of the ladder rack all the way down individually so that it gets a nice clean installation. I don't know a much better way to hide this cord, but I'm going to do the best I can. Unfortunately, it's going to be white and you are going to see it coming out. And people are probably going to be wondering what it is that I've installed on my camper going down the road when we do move this thing. So I'm going to be installing this on the inside of the ladder rack instead of the outside. I think just on the inside it'll be just a little cleaner and kind of out of the way. But on second thought, I'll be doing it on the outside, just for the simple fact of where I brought the cable up, and that way I don't have to put the cable across the back of the ladder rack. And if I have to get on the roof to do some maintenance, which it looks like I'm going to have to do because there's a lot of stuff on the roof from the springtime, trees are budding. So I'm going to unpackage this. I'm going to put the gray tape around the ladder rack because you get the U-bolt, and with the antenna it just looks like it's going to be a little bit cleaner install. I give you 4 bolts here, so I got to figure out how exactly we're going to make this work. And it looks like this is going to be the application process. So yeah, we're going to be using the gray tape to put on the inside because that's serrated, and I just don't want the scratches on the pole itself. So give me a minute. I'm going to put some gray tape around the wrap here, and then we'll go ahead and bolt this thing on. We've come up with a little bit better solution. My wife brought out some rubber tape that I didn't even know we had. It's not a tape, but it's actually just a little piece of rubber, and it's going to make it a little tighter seal on the rack itself. That way I don't get any scratches on this thing. So if I decide to trade this thing in, they can't come back at me and say, hey, you scratched your ladder rack. Not that I think anybody's going to get up on the roof and look at it, but you never know. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. No sense filming me bolting a couple bolts. You guys got to get the general idea. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and then I'm going to tape it down. And I did get some black Gorilla tape, so you won't even be able to see the gray tape at this point. We found black Gorilla tape, so that's going to be even better yet. Okay. Now we've installed this antenna. Now, I had to put it on the top side of the ladder rack because of the way that Wilson gives you to install these. They give you this U-bolt clamp, and I wanted to install it up here, but unfortunately you had to put it on a down spot because the bolts that they give you don't exactly work with this setup for the installation of the ladder rack. So I'm going to be changing this later on because I don't particularly like it being there. I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to probably make a bracket to put here to attach to the base of the Wilson antenna. And I've also threaded my coax into the bottom of the antenna. So now all I've got to do is zip tie this to the ladder rack, clean it up, and we'll be ready to go inside to start the other part of the process. So I'm going to go ahead and zip tie these lines to the ladder rack, make it nice and neat, and we're going to take it to the inside, and we're going to do the second part of the installation. Done. Okay, these are the zip ties like I was telling you that they give you in the box. You can see how tiny these are. They would be quite difficult going around the ladder rack. I mean, you would have played a double trying to get those around the ladder rack, and I just didn't like the zip ties. So like I said, I went to Lowe's, bought some nice zip ties. I zip tied it all the way across the top, down the back of the ladder rack, and underneath the camper. I did not break any seals on the back of my camper, so I'm really ecstatic about that. You know, I don't want to void the warranty on this thing. And they roof test it every year to make sure that I don't have any leaks, and I don't want to develop one on my own. So we came underneath, did a nice clean installation up underneath, up across the channel, and into the back of the slide. So we're going to go inside, we're going to start the second part of the installation and see if we get this thing up and running today. Okay, we came underneath. Like I said, I just wanted to show you. Don't know if I can quite get in here and focus, but we went across the back and up underneath and up into the slide. So we didn't have to drill any holes. I'm really, really happy that I didn't have to drill any holes. Okay, so we've got a couple empty boxes here. This was the antenna box. This is the box that contained some of the power cords. We're not ready to put those on just yet. And this is the box that contains some of the cords. So we're down to 3 empty boxes. Now we're going to box B. We're going to open this one up. I'm sure this is going to have the vital parts. The main boost, because the antenna is installed on the roof now, and I'm going to need a knife to get this open. So I'm at my RV. I don't have my regular knife on me, so I had to steal a steak knife out of the drawer. I come here to relax, and I don't usually think about putting everything in my pockets. But I do like to have my cell phone, that's why I'm installing this. Okay, we got step 7, 4 and 5, and a spacer box. So we don't need that. So we're going to open this box that says 4 and 5, and I'm sure this is the pieces that I'm going to be needing to finish this up. Okay, this is the thing that makes all the magic happen. This is the actual booster itself. So, it has some directions on here. It says protect your purchase and put the latest app on there. I think that's what it says. I don't have my cheaters on. Emma, what's that say?
Protect your purchase. Your smartphone is the fastest way to register your product.
So we'll be registering that later on today, or this week, probably Monday. Well, maybe today, once we get this working, I'll actually have cell phone signal. I'll be able to do things on my smartphone that I have been able to do before. And this is the second box. This is step 7. This is your internal antenna. And this has a pretty long cord on it. I'm really surprised how long this cord is. So I'll be able to move this one around inside the RV to make my cell phone usage a little better throughout the RV. So we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping to install it against this wall that I'll be able to sit out on my deck and use my cell phone, but we'll see how that goes. It's supposed to have a 10 to 15 foot range, and my cell phone and my deck is right outside this wall, so I'm not sure if it's going to work outside the wall or not. Hopefully we'll cross my fingers and hopefully it'll work out there also. I know it'll make my wife happy if it works out there, because she likes to sit out there and talk to her girlfriend, especially on the weekend or early Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. So, we're going to install this in that back corner where we brought the cord in. And again, I'm not going to drill holes into my wall. I think I'm going to use a 3M hanging tab to put this in. I'm just going to lay it back there for the time being, as soon as I figure out how to get it out of the holder here. I thought I saw it just slides in and out. But we'll work on that in a little bit here. So we've got to find out where the in and the out is. And this says inside antenna, and that says outside antenna. So the outside antenna is this one that we brought in. We're going to go ahead and attach it to the bottom of the booster. Notice the smaller adapter. That's what I was talking about earlier. So it actually reduces down. We're going to tighten the bottom of the antenna wire into the bottom of the adapter also. So we've got a nice tight fit there. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab the inside antenna. And again, I'm not going to be doing anything fancy with it right this moment because I really want to see how this thing's going to work in our situation. So I'm going to go ahead and screw the inside antenna to the top of the booster. Pretty self-explanatory. Inside, outside. And now we got to find out where to plug in power to this unit. And it looks like on the bottom here is where your power supply is. Where it comes in there, and it actually says power on the bottom of it, if you look right there. I can count the letters, but I can't actually see them, so. And I'm taking my granddaughter. She's just kind of smiling back behind the camera at me because she knows I can't see small things. So we'll go ahead and get the power adapter. And I'm lucky because I do have power right here where I want to put it. So how fortunate is that? And this one I'm unplugging here is for my cordless flashlight. It's for when I take my dogs and walk at night. I have a flashlight. I can charge it up all the time. Nice little feature there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that power cord. And like I said, we're going to be using the 12 volt or the 24 or 110 AC fitting for this application because I have power all the time and I don't do a whole lot of boondocking. My wife ain't going nowhere where she doesn't have water and sewage, so we won't be doing that as long as she's with me. And we've run into one small problem. This power supply that they give you is a little wider than I was planning on, so now we'll have to get an adapter so I can bring it out past my wooden finish here, because there's a piece of finish that runs right here alongside the power supply where my plug-in is. So I'm gonna have to get a little, probably get a extension cord or something to plug this into, or a power strip, so we can make this work. So bear with me a minute, we'll figure this out. Okay, now we're going to test it again with it on. I'm approximately a foot and a half away from it. And we're definitely seeing some improvement. I can tell already, and the test isn't even done. 0.89. I mean, where I'm at, I have a hard signal as it is to get anything, so I'm really amazed that we're even getting this much improvement. And look at the upload speed, almost from nothing to 1.96. So I'm really amazed at how well this is doing for us. And like I said, I just got done and finished installing it, so pretty happy with the results. But it looks like it's going to have to be used close proximity to the booster itself, the antenna. I moved it around. I went around the backside of my recliners here, and since my wife's recliner is closest to the table, I figured it was easier to put the antenna next to her phone because she's the one who's going to want to use it more than I am. She likes to surf Facebook and she likes to talk to her girlfriend in the morning, so this is for her, as this whole setup is for her. So, I'm going to try the iPhone. Emma, you want to get your iPhone, and we'll try yours? Okay, Emma's going to take a turn at doing this because she knows how to use her iPhone and I don't. So I'll film her doing it because she's the one that actually is behind the camera most of the time. She's the technical guru of the family. Alright, Emma, what's it doing?
What?
Tell me the speeds that you've got right now.
For the download speed, it's 0.12.
Okay, has it uploaded yet?
No, not yet.
And this is with the cell phone booster off. I think she's disappointed with her iPhone. I've been trying to talk her into going Droid, but she just won't do it.
Alright, so without it, there was a network problem, meaning it couldn't connect, so... Okay.
Was the light green when you started?
For the download, it was 0.14.
Not much improvement. I think she didn't wait long enough for it to reset itself. We'll try it one more time after. Go ahead and retest that, Emma.
It was the same.
Okay. Again, my Droid outperforms her iPhone. Are you showing any signal on your iPhone?
I have 4 bars.
Which is more than she had when we started.
I had 1 when we started. And the upload was 0.09. So, I guess.
Go ahead and do it one more time, just for grins and chuckles. Now she's going to move it closer. This booster seems to be really sensitive to proximity. It was worse?
It was 0.13.
Okay, so either we have a broken iPhone or we're not getting good results on the iPhone, but it seems to be helping with my Droid. And my wife has a Droid, so. Anyway, we'll give that a whirl and see what we got. Okay? So, all in all, I think the WeBoost is going to help. And I think that installation was pretty simplified by WeBoost. Made it for the average consumer to go ahead and put this in. I have a couple things to tidy up to make mine where I would like it so it's out of sight, out of mind, and where you can't see it. And right now I'm pretty well there. I just got to tidy it up behind the sofa. If you turn the camera, Emma, toward where we've installed it, if you're looking in the camper, you can't see anything, which is great. You know, the only way you can see it if you know it's sitting there beside the recliner. And space is limited in these things, even though I do have a pretty big unit. But as you can see, I have my dog cage here. You know, I've got a branded puppy that he's being crate trained, and he's pretty much out of the crate, so we'll be breaking that down soon and putting that away because he pretty much doesn't use it. He sleeps with the kids at night. But all in all, the WeBoost, I think it's going to be a good thing. I'll be using it over the next couple weeks, and I will post results later on, and I'll give some follow-up on it, and I'll get my wife's input on it also. And I want to thank WeBoost for sending this out to us to give it a whirl. I do have a family member that's quite involved with this product, so if if you do have a bad signal, which I have a horrible signal here at this campground. We're in Cedar Lake Campground, and we're in Dover, Pennsylvania. And it seems to be in a hole around here because you go up top of the hill, you can get some signal, but you actually have to go out 2 miles up on the main road to really get your full usage of your cell phone back. So I am definitely seeing an improvement, and I have, like I said, we just put it in. I will play with the apps a little bit. I'm gonna let my wife use it and see if she can use her Facebook apps and talk to her girlfriend in the morning a little easier. And I'll be going home tonight, so I'll be calling my wife tonight, and I'll get some more feedback because when I talk to my wife, I usually drop in and out with our conversations when she's here. So again, thank you, WeBoost. Definitely would recommend it. A good buy. It's about $500. A little pricey, but if you're having a hard cell phone signal problems, I would definitely recommend this product. Alrighty folks, thanks a lot. And that's my review.